I was hesitant about my decision to pursue a master's degree when I learned about the requirement to conduct an action research project. I was all about learning new techniques and applications, and the thought of research seemed boring, like learning the old-fashioned way. As the first month progressed, I realized that the research wasn't about digging through old journals in a library to learn about philosophies of teaching, but to look at my world with students to see if there was something I might explore to improve, even if through a small change. It was difficult to keep my project narrow enough in scope to be manageable. As other students were also discovering, I had big ideas, such as teaching using real-life characters in a virtual world like Second Life. That was definitely not something I was prepared to tackle, knew how to do, or even had time to do. While learning about action research projects during MLR, I gradually came to focus on the students I was working with. Last year in this, I've team taught math with a 4th grade teacher who has all of the 4th grade students with learning disabilities in her classroom. The students really struggled with remembering even basic rules for various math functions. While teaching last year, the other teacher and I had spontaneously broken into a silly song about rounding numbers, and the students loved it. Remembering that incident was the spark to ignite my idea for an action research project. I didn't know if the music helped the students learn more than what was being done in other classrooms, but I began to wonder, as is stated on my action research site welcome page, what if? My action research project was born with a simple question: what if using music helps students remember more of the math instruction? What if it could help them be more successful? Having EBSCO host as a resource was wonderful, although I often had difficulties with wording searches to efficiently locate articles that were relevant in either supporting or disputing the benefits of music. It was helpful to have the resources at my fingertips rather than miles away in a library. Exploring the literature helped solidify my AR project choice. Almost every article supported the use of music, but it generally applied to very young children. Very little information seemed to be based on the age group I was working with, let alone students with learning disabilities. I realized that if my results were positive, my literary contribution would enhance the literature currently available by including a population that hadn't really been previously focused on. Over the course of the summer of 2010, I focused on doing my literature research. The new school year was a few months away, and there wasn't much I could do about beginning my Cycle 1 until closer to that time. It seemed like all I did, outside of course projects, was search and read, search and read. It amazed me how difficult it was to find material that really provided the insight I was looking for about using music. The backlighting on the laptop made reading large amounts of material on screen difficult, so, as a result, I usually printed out the articles. I felt like I was going through reams of paper while trying to find material that was valid and came from a reliable source. Gradually, I accumulated a sufficient number of articles to begin writing my literature review. Music was definitely supported as a successful teaching tool. I hoped that my Cycle 1 would help me to determine just how much music could help students. As the school year began, I surveyed the students I would be working with to see how they felt about math in general, as well as some of their study habits, and whether they struggled to remember how to do their work when doing it at home. The month spent during EDE learning about Google Docs and the multitude of uses they encompass made it much easier to construct forms, such as the survey, that were necessary to my AR project. The survey results indicated that about half of the students liked math, even if it was difficult. Results varied about who helped them at home, how well they remembered how to do their work, and similar questions pertaining to knowledge retention and work completion. The ADDIE system learned during EDE and learning about multiple intelligences during MLT helped me to understand how differently some students learn, as well as the thought that needs to go into teaching each lesson and activity that's used. hope was that using music would be a tool to open up learning in a way that talking through a lesson didn't do. And music also seemed to automatically build in kinesthetic learning as students moved to and with the music. ETC encouraged my exploration of Web 2.0 tools, and these helped me with creating songs and presenting them. My team teacher was very excited about my project and eager to see what kinds of results would be produced. We reached an agreement with one of the other fourth grade teachers about comparing the amounts of growth between our two classes. The other class did not use music at all. A pretest was given before the start of each unit, and each cycle encompassed one unit. The scores were recorded, though not graded, and these indicated each student's starting point. A class average was also calculated. The same curriculum was used for both classes with the exception of the songs I taught. At the end of a unit, a test was given. Student scores and percentage points of growth were calculated and recorded. We then compared the scores. Through both cycles, I was very happy to see that the growth in our classroom was greater than the growth in the other classroom. The songs that we used were short and simple. The projects I did during MTE helped me to be more comfortable with writing math ditties, as well as the need for certain structures to be included, and these helped bring a sense of balance to the lyrics. I was able to write somewhat of a rap song about geometry, and this included some nonsense words that captured the lighthearted side of fourth graders. We're going to explanate, postulate, help you all to relate. Even though they might not have understood the words, the funness of the sounds and the flow really got the students involved. FPE taught me to appreciate the editing process and how to examine what I am doing, whether it's with a film or a song, to see that each component carries the project forward and is not there unnecessarily. This has been such an important tool in each and every project I have done since then, including my preparation of this presentation. DME taught me about creating in Flash. Although I didn't utilize Flash for my project, I will definitely use it for future cycles after I have become more proficient in it. The same holds true for GSM. I didn't utilize gaming in my project, but it holds many possibilities for future projects. During MAC, I was able to spend a lot of time reflecting and summarizing my research and comparing what I had done to the literature I had read. It felt good to see the similarities and the positive results reflected between my work and the work of other researchers. I understand so much now about learning management systems thanks to my month in LMS. It would be possible to do all of my work with my action research project utilizing an LMS such as Schoology or a similar system, although I didn't use it at this time. A unit could easily be built with all of the components readily available there. These are definitely ideas I will consider for future use. My hesitant thoughts from the start of my journey through the EMDT-MS program have all vanished like fog lifts as dawn arrives and the sunshine burns off the moisture. Now I stand in the light and look at my world with clearer eyes and an excitement for what the future brings. My success on this journey would not have been possible without the patience, guidance, and support of all of my course directors, the support and encouragement of my classmates, and especially the support of my family and friends, for whom a lot of time was given up so that I would be able to go through this program and give it my very best effort. Thanks to everyone. This has been a life-changing experience, and I'm very excited for where it will take me.